the hair looks horrendous. We work with what we have. And today we go with total black. Ready? Tune, go. Today's episode won't be about scales. I'll explain why later. This is nice. Not what's coming next. Today won't be scales because I have to prepare something that all cellists dread. They absolutely hate it. I am part of the local youth orchestra in the conservatory in my area, and we do have a small event tomorrow which includes the piece I mentioned earlier, Pachelbel's Canon in D. This is the piece, in case somebody doesn't remember it by name. This is how the whole piece goes. It's basically each voice coming in after the other. For example, the cello comes in first, the violin comes in, the other violin comes in, then the viola, if I'm not mistaken. And they basically, let's say the first measure of the cello, then the violin comes in, plays its own voice. Then comes the second violin, starting from where the first violin started. It's a mess. The catch, especially for the cellist, is that they have the two measures alone. The very start of it, which is, hang on, it will start now, which is this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The cello part is 2 pages long, 2 pages, and it's the same 8 notes. They do not change to a bit. And this is one of the reasons why cellists absolutely hate this piece. They are bored. What we don't realize most of the time is that those 8 notes are the ground for the other 3 that are on top, the 2 violins and the viola, and need to be spotless. And usually getting those notes spotless is harder than we think. Even an experienced cellist needs to know what they're doing. So what we're gonna do is try and, tune those notes with the rest of the voices, which I won't have available at 11 at night right now, but they will be there tomorrow because I kind of skipped practice today. So I'm gonna start it from the beginning. Let's see. Sorry, that was the speaker. I'm gonna start without my book. There we go. It's those 8 notes, nothing else. I had to retune the instrument again. I tuned it 15 minutes ago. Let's give this a go. It's 8 notes, which are easy notes on the cello, but at the same time, they need to be super duper tuned so you don't mess up the rest of the group. Because everybody's counting on you. And again. holding my breath while playing those 8 notes. I can play other difficult stuff which I'm required to learn in the diploma process, but this one is dreadful. At some point back in time, I think I was at a different youth orchestra. I believe it was the National Radio one, which had a youth orchestra at the time. And we still had this piece, and I wasn't even fluent on the instrument. I think I was like a year or so, 10 lessons on it, 20. And the time came where I had to start this piece alone. There was no other cellist in the orchestra. Oh dear God, please. And I cannot forget the conductor at the time, which was a very well-known violinist from Russia, which, you know, is in Greece, but now she's old, she's retired, I think. And I cannot forget the yelling I got when I messed up the first 2 notes, which should have been a given, you know, given knowledge by the 20th lesson of having on the instrument. And it's haunted me ever since, 15 years later. There's too much talking in this video. That's fine. Let's try again with the music, shall we? There we go. This is one of the pieces which, if you're too self-conscious, will make you think twice about what the hell are you doing with the instrument. Which at the same time has the same rules as every other instrument. Practice makes perfect. So I will need to, you know, play this a few more times, and musicians that know the piece will tell me, why aren't you playing in first position? Because what if I can do it in first position if I like. I can do it there, or to avoid open strings, especially on these kind of pieces, because if 1 in a million your instrument is off, like, you know, it's damp, it's too hot, or whatever, the string decided to call it a day and it's, you know, out of tune, it will, I don't know, screw you over. This is a very popular piece for, I think, mainly in the US, for graduations, along with pomp and circumstance, if I'm not mistaken, and weddings. They absolutely love playing it at weddings. I mean, it's a very nice piece and all. I'm not very fond of it at a wedding. It's all glorious and such, but, you know, there's much better choices for that kind of event. It's very interesting to find out how many bars or measures are in this piece, and how many times the same 2 bars repeat on the cello. So after having to count it 3 times because I lost count, it's 28 times. The same bar, the same set of 2 bars, because it's the main theme for the cello is the first 2 bars. 1, 2. That's 28 times. So 28 times 2 is 56. Cellists call it the 56 bars of torture. For example, Oh dear God, this is not gonna go well. It's 2 bars, 8 notes. Why? And various things like that. So back at it, let's give it another go. Hang on. There. No. Good. After trying it a few times on my own without recording it, we could give it a go with the fancy music. The video I'm using from YouTube as the one playing from the speaker is 6 minutes long. So maybe this accounts for the 59 measures. Sorry, because the 59th measure is the closing. Oops. The 59th measure is the closing one. And there's no repeats in this piece. No repeats. It's just those 59 measures. How on earth did they end up being 6 minutes? I'm preparing by hearing the 2 measures before. Finally! This is what usually happens in my head every time I have to play this piece. I don't mind the piece, but come on. You could have written something more for the cellos. The violins have so much going on. Why? What have we done? It is almost, 12 o'clock. It's almost midnight. And in order for me to not get kicked out of the apartment, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to stop it here for tonight. I want to give some special thanks at this point, first of all, to my partner, who is suffering the past 3 years, living in the same house with me, listening to me practice daily. Scales, messing up pieces, you name it, so on. My mom and my sister, who are usually my biggest groupies from since I started playing music 20 years ago, not with this instrument, I was playing the piano. And the group of friends that took the time to watch my videos, oh, come on. And the group of friends that took the time to watch my videos and actually give me some valuable feedback, which, I'm processing it. I haven't forgotten. Thank you. And as I said before, I will explain the reasons why the everyday video is not feasible. Not that I don't want to, it's practically impossible. My schedule is impossible. It will be explained in the next video, which I hope won't be too far from this one. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one. Cello out!